Today, I'm joined by Callum Fowler and Benjamin Blumen. On this week's show, the promotion and candidates all won. Oxford landed a killer blow in their relegation scrap. And have we lost the art of the Championship bagsmen? Hello guys, welcome back to the Sportsman Untitled, brought to you by Betfred. And Ben, what a weekend for those at the top. They all won. Big win for Coventry late on, but pressure now kind of building on Middlesbrough before they play tonight.
I was going to say they all won. I'm sure the Borough fans will be like, oh, hold on a minute. But yeah, not seen anything like that. You know, when we get into the end of the season and a run-in, it is just win, and a draw can be sort of catastrophic. But it went back into midweek, and if I don my Ipswich Town hat, pretty unhelpful. You put 6 points on, and so does everybody else. But yeah, Coventry at exactly the right time. Lovely little 4-game winning streak, Simon. And we talked about margin for error. We were kind of right, weren't we?
Yeah, they kind of let it slip a little bit, and then when it really mattered, they've turned up and
yeah,
got wins.
the 13 games of 16th place form was quite a big blip, but no, this has been excellent. And people are going to look at the timing of that goal and think, oh, 94th minute. But then you look into the match, it feels like a deserved win. I mean, Stoke pinch a set play in first half stoppage time. Don't know, Sorba Thomas special, but I know the manner of the goal and the timing of it. But they're looking good against Cov, aren't they?
Yeah, one shot on target for Stoke in the whole game, and another Jack Rodoni goal. That's three for him now, Callum. Cov are looking good, 8 points clear of Borough before they play tonight. Little gap on third as well. That Borough game has been absolutely massive, like a side indoors moment for the season.
100%. I was just going to say, you were good value for that Stoke win anyway, regardless of how it went in. But yeah, obviously Middlesbrough playing tonight, which is a tough game and all, away at Birmingham, but you have got Millwall and Ipswich with games in hand sneaking up on you. You're just that good at home though, aren't you? You're like almost a guaranteed 3 points every week at home. So if you can just do that and just chip away a little bit here and there away, then you'll be off at line, won't you, soon anyway?
I think
you don't want to say
but I would. Obviously, I'm more confident now than ever before. I don't think we need to be that good now to get promoted.
I think you were more confident in November.
Nah.
You're extremely
21 points clear.
I would say 71 points now on the board, 11 games to go. Coventry still have to play Sheffield Wednesday at home. That's probably 3 points. And what's the total win?
10 teams have got to play Wednesday and all. Half of them have got 3 points that are around you.
That is true, but I would say it's looking very, very nice. We should talk maybe about Millwall next, though, because another win, Ben, up to third. Big win at Preston, 2-0. We're now got them firmly in the top two chat, haven't they? They're only a point behind Borough.
Yeah, it's great because we've, ummed and ahed through many of these shows this season about, right, are they going to get in the playoffs? And then you go into the, can we put them in the top two conversation? They're very, very clearly in that. They have got 3 of the top 6 in their next 3 away games. But the way Millwall have been functioning this season, they probably won't lose any of them, won't they? 14 clean sheets, most in the league as well. Really good at home. They are just churning it out at the moment, and we shall see, particularly with the... Callum was taking great delight in telling me about Ipswich's fixtures in April. So if, it's a 3-horse race, potentially between, say, Borough, Millwall and Ipswich for... second, we'll see what Hull do tomorrow. I have to just say everybody's name to not annoy any particular set of fans. If they can get through the end of this month and they're in touch, then maybe the momentum swings around. But they're going to have to win some of the head-to-heads, Mill. But you could say that for any of the teams out there, couldn't you?
I do think their home fixtures, the key thing is their tough fixtures, Ipswich and Middlesbrough are both away from it. Their home fixtures, though, they've also got Hull away, by the way,
right.
Next up. Home fixtures, though, Derby at home, Blackburn at home, Norwich at home, tricky, QPR at home, and Oxford at home. They should be targeting 5 out of 5 there, and that takes them some way to the Premier League.
Yeah, well, they should be winning their own games anyway, but they are very good at home, like you said. But like we've just addressed there, you're going to be playing Hull, I forgot who else it is, Middlesbrough, maybe Ipswich. But you've got to play these teams. You've got to want to play these teams to take points off them, haven't you? With form that they're all in, like Ipswich, Coventry, if these are sides that you're playing, they're going to be winning every week. You want to play them. You want to knock them off the perch a little bit. Like easy references, you went in League One. The Ipswich come to Barnsley. We were chasing them a little bit. Just absolutely obliterated us. Season over for us. Ipswich go and get promoted. But Millwall want to be playing them sort of sides. And like you're saying, with form that they're in, how good they've been away recently, how good they are defensively. you wouldn't write them off in any game, would you?
And it's a key point. What happens at the end of the season if you finish between 3rd and 6th? You got 3 more games against sides that are literally between 3rd and 6th.
Practice,
so,
yeah,
absolutely. And I think Femi Aziz has been arguably the standout player in the Championship this season overall. Absolutely fantastic for Millwall. I thought his assist for the second goal in particular was fantastic. How key can he be in this Millwall run-in, Ben?
Oh, he's class, isn't he? I mean, look a little bit further back, though, because it's 2026 and Jake Cooper's still doing clean sheet goal combos. Kramer's been great as well. They're the two we always kind of big up there. And we kind of spoke at the start of the season that there was quite a few managers that were being tried for the first time. And we talked about the value of having like an Alex Neil who's done hundreds of games, you know, Preston and Norwich and Stoke. It didn't go so great, but it doesn't go so great for anybody at Stoke, does it?
A promotion on his CV as well.
Promotion on his CV with Norwich, yeah. And I don't know, sometimes better the devil you know in a promotion race. And we'll see a very new manager in Kim Hellberg, new to the Championship, who everyone has been loving, you know, go against Alex Neil in a head-to-head. And I don't know quite who I fancy at the moment. I'll probably tell you at about 10 p.m. tonight.
Absolutely. Preston, on the other hand, on the other side of this coin, Cal, 4 games without a win now, down to 12th. Felt like they were maybe going to fall away from the playoff race, and that now has turned into fruition.
Just January, innit? Like, obviously, the squad isn't the biggest or of best quality anyway. They've got a cracking manager in Eke, but one of the best players has been recalled from Everton, hasn't he? Obviously, Osmajic is just him. So you've less said the better. But then someone like Millwall hasn't done a great deal in January, but the squad is that good. They've had a lot of injuries that they don't really need to bring anything in because they did all the business in summer, like selling Essay and then reinvesting that money well. Preston you look at teams above them at money that's being spent with these teams and squads that they've got, you're not going to be able to compete long term with that.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it feels like Stoke are kind of in that same category, challenging early in the season and falling down the table.
QPR,
recently.
another one that was sort of in and around it, flirting for a bit, that's fallen away a bit.
Yeah, and it is probably just squad depth and a bit of money there. Coming on to Ipswich, Ben, throw over to you. Big home win. Couple of nice home games coming up as well, potentially this week. If they can average this kind of 2 points a game that we've seen over the last, how many months now?
23 games now, 47 points in 23. That is half a season by my math.
I knew you'd have the stats for me. Thank you very much, mate. If they can maintain that from now until the end of the season, they'll be very, very close indeed.
Well, it depends what Middlesbrough do, doesn't it? I do think something needs to be put in the EFL handbook that every team that comes to Portman Road should press high and try and play out from the back. That's quite helpful. And they should also drop their key striker, who happens to be the
What's that all about?
I don't. You'd have to ask Vito or Matos about that. But really, really comfortable. Lots been said about Frank Onyeka making a difference, a good lone midfielder. Notice Dan Neal's now starting with Matasiwa, and Mehmeti could be your January difference maker signing that. And we start to do the maths, and it looks great for Cov because we talked about low 80s all season. 15 points from 11 would take Cov to 86, and you're having to go some. If you do your 2 points per game for Ipswich, you literally land on 86. So it's still kind of going to take a big run from someone, unless we get bald men fighting over a comb and everyone finds it impossible to win and we're sort of falling over the line there. But things looking good for Ipswich. Nice bit of stability, and thank God that away run is over. Although we know sort of Middlesbrough, Southampton, Birmingham, Norwich, which is just a circus for an entire week at the back end of the season as well. So I think the points need to go on the board now. And as we've just been calculating, Ipswich, by the time Coventry play a week on Wednesday, Ipswich could have played 3 games. Not that Ipswich kind of have the right to be looking at Coventry as a target at the moment, but they could be significantly closer if there's a good 3-game output. It's Hull home, Leicester home, 29 games without a clean sheet, along come Ipswich, and Stoke away.
That's not bad at all. And obviously that's dependent on the Bristol City Port Vale game Tuesday night in the FA Cup. Otherwise, Coventry will be playing on Saturday. No surprise for me that Ipswich are looking stronger now. Nunes is back playing number 10. And obviously, Mehmeti goal and assist this weekend. And what a pickup he's been in January, Spencer.
Depth, innit? Same conversation we just had with Preston. Someone like that, even if he don't come in and start every game for you, someone of that quality for what's peanuts really for a guy that's that good. It's just smart business, isn't it?
Can I just read out Ipswich's bench from the weekend, by the way? Taylor, Clark, Hurst, McAteer, Cahoost, Palmer, Greaves, Egeli and Akpom. What's that?
We were in League One once.
About 100 million on total in the bench.
When Coventry get promoted, you'll become the villains as well. Yeah. But that's the chasm, isn't it? You battle for this, and the second you go up, what did Sunderland spend 130 million or something in the August? But you're right, because all of a sudden Mehmeti plays himself in. He's supposed to be there in the 10. Nunes has been fantastic. We think 2.5 points per game when Nunes has started in the 10.
Really?
Yeah, because that is, he's played a couple of games further back, so you're kind of lies and statistics and taking that out. But then you bring Mehmeti to the left, and Clark's rested and Philogene injured, and you're like, okay. The options off the front look pretty good there, don't they?
25 goal difference, isn't it? It speaks for itself.
I wasn't worried about Ipswich until you just said
win both the
3 games.
5 points.
I know.
You'll be all right.
We're
on fire.
That bench has scared me. It really has. We need to talk about Hull City, though. A big away win at Portsmouth this weekend. Yet again, Callum, we talk about statistics. Yada, yada, yada. I think they went into the box about twice. They had 2 shots in total, and they win the game 1-0.
But they've done it a few times, haven't they? They went to Middlesbrough, I think, and won 1-0. If I remember that properly. I'm sure they've done it a few times where they've gone and just sat back and absorbed pressure all game. Is somebody on a counter and won. But they weren't good at weekend. I don't think it was like a stellar performance. I think they defended quite well, but then it's just chasing lost balls. McBurney chasing a second ball that there's no to be there for. You've got. That's why I think they've done so well. Someone like that who's going to run his blood to water every week, that you get off back of a mistake and you've won game instead of a point.
And Matt Crook's being back fit now and scoring the win here. He's that type of player as well, isn't he?
We've got a lot of grafters.
Yeah, a lot of grafters.
Quite old school. When you look at how they are compared to like Ipswich, Middlesbrough, Coventry, all are just so different to them all.
It's a proper tough game. So physical, so hard to beat. A proper tough game.
It's like a bit like Wrexham and all.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got to take them seriously in terms of the promotion race, playoff race for sure. How many points are they off the top 2 there, Ben?
Hull, they are 3 off Borough, and we've obviously got this game at Bodmin Road tomorrow night. So if they win that,
that's ridiculous. And they've now got, I think, a 7-point cushion on 7th place Southampton, which is obviously.
I don't think they're looking in that direction, Simon, are they? And you've got to say 5 away wins in a row. It kind of got lost on you, didn't it? Because they had that big run of home games all back to back to back, but. Yeah, they are very good for the XG debate this season, Hull, aren't they? Because they're just so clinical. And if they're in a game, they win a game. And Callum is saying exactly the same things as Jukirovic said after the game. Great win. Performance? Nah.
Always bothered.
But win football matches, score more goals than opponents. Hull do that pretty reliably this season, don't they?
I think at this stage of the season, performance not goes out the window, but it's close to that. The result takes massive priority over everything.
They're in such a good spot.
If you're looking at Hull as a playoff team, we talk about Millwall being a tough team to play in the playoffs. We're just going up against Hull. You'll probably have more chances. You might absolutely dominate the game, and you will probably lose, because that's what we've seen over 30 odd games this season.
They're in such a good spot, because nobody is actually taking them that serious. We're talking about an automatic race and only putting them in just because they're there. Not really taking them that serious, are we? Not same points as Ipswich. 3 points off same games played as Middlesbrough. They're in a 8 spot, these. They could sneak through.
I need to get their fixtures up and have a look at their next upcoming fixtures. They
don't need to play good to win as well.
That is a very key point. Obviously, they're playing Ipswich on Tuesday. What points total then, if we had to estimate now, do we think will be enough for top 2? Because if we're talking about the title, I think we're talking 88, 89, 90 to guarantee it.
I think it'll be fewer than.
You think it'll be fewer than that? Top 2, I think, could be low this year to finish second.
When we're sat here today and we're talking about people falling over the line and bald men fighting over combs, how I'm feeling today is that Coventry will win it by 5, 6, 7 points, and then you might need 82,
I agree
83 or something, given games in hand, fixture congestion, and quite a few head-to-heads we've spoken about. If you get a few draws in that points total is getting dragged lower and lower, and we could go from you literally needed 100 points to finish second last season. It could be nearly 20 points fewer this season, couldn't it?
Sheffield United just doing the wrong thing at the wrong season, getting 92 points. Hull City, by the way, Ipswich away, Millwall at home, Wrexham away, their next 3. That is season defining, Cal?
Yeah, like we said about Millwall,
Yeah,
you've got to play them, haven't you?
7 points on, won't they, Hull?
You've got to play them, take points off teams around you.
And they still have to play Coventry and go to Sheffield United and play, but it's very tough for them in terms of fixtures, but would not write them off at all. We should talk about Wrexham, an away win. Cal, I'll throw over to you. You love Phil Parkinson, said it all season. Best manager in the Championship.
I just had him as number one manager in his TikTok just then.
Another impressive away win.
Yeah.
Wonderful goal. Really big save at the end from Okonkwo to keep a clean sheet as well. They're 4 points clear of Southampton, and we will come on to Southampton absolutely flying. That race for sixth is going to be very interesting indeed, but they've put themselves in a great spot as well.
They have. Again, similar to Hull, I don't think Wrexham played particularly well at Charlton. Obviously, I was watching scores come in, I didn't watch the game. But from what commentator was saying, they weren't playing that cracking. But Rathbone, another one that's gone severely under radar, I think, for how good he is. With some of the names that they've got there now, and it's Rathbone who keeps doing business from him. And then to see it out, I'm not the biggest fan of Parky, but I can appreciate what he's doing. They are good, aren't they? They are obviously a good side. They don't have to play good to win again, same as Hull. They've got some quality in there. They don't need to sort of walk it into net as well, which I quite like. They are just happy to hit it from edge of box. I don't see him falling out as good as Southampton are.
Really?
I don't think Wrexham will fall out.
It's a long way to go, isn't there?
Yeah.
Wrexham's home form is massive for them, and we've spoken about how tough it is to go there. But if they're picking up points and clean sheets on the road like they did at the weekend, then as we say, Parky's got that kind of broadhead key for more thing going on up top end of the pitch, well, which is two of the best forwards in the Championship on their day.
Yeah, and they've got plenty of depth, haven't they? You say like Rathbone's been chipping in. When Moore's not been about, Smith comes in and scores as well.
Windass in there.
Windass is always quality.
Thought you'd give him a mention today.
Yeah, I would.
At this level, but
Smith as well.
Yeah, we've been talking about that massive crowd of teams. Possibly, there's I don't know, 9 teams. You could get 6. No one's getting 6 if the team in 6th place keeps on the form that Wrexham are on. And as you know, nerds like me like to freeze the league table at various points. And when we do that for 8, 10, 12 games, the name Wrexham is pretty near the top. Very consistent right through from pre-Christmas, pre-transfer window. And I can't believe I'm saying this about Wrexham. There's kind of a sense of calmness that, I mean, look, compare it to Ipswich, where the fans are all in a tiz about potentially missing out, and you got the parachute payment and the opportunity. It's a bit more, I don't know, it feels a bit more chilled and a nice trend in the right way.
They've done it 3 times in a row.
Well, there you go. Yeah, exactly.
It's been absolutely remarkable for Wrexham. I think key is that Ben Sheaf's got injured, picked up a regular injury. Obviously, he gets them quite a lot. George Dobson came in this weekend and did remarkably well, and he's had a good
James
season.
James was out for a while as well, so probably weak in central midfield.
So O'Brien and Dobbs, I think a lot of their hopes pin on how those two perform in central midfield.
Well, he got 2 assists when they stuck 5 past Ipswich, so there you go.
Not bad at all. We should talk about Southampton. Obviously, beat Wednesday 3-1 this weekend. Don't need to focus on that too much. But 6 wins out of 7 in all competitions. Tondereka had a really good winning run when he came in, then a really poor run, and now this run here, which has been absolutely remarkable. And they're getting there, and their squad is arguably better than most of them in the top 6. Can they bridge that gap? You don't think so?
I don't think so, but a bit of common theme this weekend, because I don't think Southampton played well either, really. I know it's against Sheffield Wednesday,
Sheffield Wednesday is a hard one, isn't it, to play? I don't know if it's easy to play well against them necessarily. You just need to win.
They're just going to sit everybody behind the ball, aren't they, almost. But yeah, I think it shows how strong they are that, again, it is on the Wednesday, but you've not played that well and you've still put 3 past them. You're winning loads and loads of games. I'd love to see points total since he's come in, because there must be near top since he's took this job. They had a little blip, didn't they? It started really good, then a little blip, but he's found himself again, and they've been flying. I don't think they'll get in still.
If they'd have just been more to average under
Still at start.
They would be right in the playoff mix. It's almost frustrating they haven't been able to make up.
Then still wouldn't have got sacked.
Sheffield United did it as well.
May have managed,
there
really.
You go, butterfly effect.
Yeah, no, I did incur the ire of some Southampton fans by pointing out how utterly dreadful QPR were in the second half of that game in midweek. I think Wednesday might have given them a better game. That was proper collapse, though. But they're fun to watch, aren't they? You know, they're open side, and Cienza on the wing has been superb, isn't he? You'll hear me start to say now in the next couple of months, defences win playoffs. So even if they do get in, you'd think that could be like an old school 90s playoff game rather than a more modern defensively based. But again, as I always say about the relegation zone, if the team in 18th doesn't win any games, there is no survival battle. If the team in 6th keeps winning and keeps holding everybody off, then this collection of teams, and you can see a little gaps already look, there's a 6-point gap now between 6th and 8th. And even like at the start of the 3-game week, we were looking at that much more positively for, say, somebody right in the middle. So
even like Birmingham need to probably go and beat Middlesbrough to get themselves dragged back into it.
And that's fair play to Wrexham, isn't it? For just keeping going and going and going. And like you said, Southampton have been relentless themselves.
I do like that 3 of their back 4 scored against Sheffield Wednesday. By the way, Manning, Harwood Bellis and James Bree. So good form for the defenders there. When you talk about a massive game at the bottom, Oxford 2, West Brom 1, Cal. I thought Oxford could get something here, and they've gone and got themselves a win that they desperately needed. How many points are they off safety now? I think it's 3.
They're 3 points off West Brom after just beating them.
And you look at West Brom's form, and you look at Leicester even, and you think Oxford are probably the most competitive out of those 3 sides right now.
Well, yeah, probably, especially after that win. You expect a side like that, though, no disrespect to him here, but I was a Barnsley fan. I think I'm qualified to say this. When you're a crap side in Championship, right, we'll start with that. When you're a crap team, a lesser side in Championship, you've got to be good at set pieces. Yeah. And you've got to make the most out of little things. And both the goals were from that at weekend. And I don't think West Brom created anything really. They had a lot of shots, yeah. But the one that went in were a deflected one from 50-odd yards. They didn't really do all else other than that. Oxford need to tap into that a bit more.
The frustration and the frustration from West Brom fans, Ben, is spilling out now at full times, and you see the scenes at full times, even with change of managers and stuff. And that feels like a bit of a toxic club at the minute, which does play a factor in a relegation battle as well.
Oh, it does. I think we're going to go chapter and verse on this later in the week, can't we? So I won't say too much now, but yeah, it feels like they almost made the change to try and get a bounce in this game. And when you're 2 down before half time, both set play goals. No, it was 2-1 at half time, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2-1 at half time.
But when you've gone 2 down from 2 set play goals, I think that kind of tells you everything you know about the sort of fragility at West Brom. And I said I wouldn't say too much, but we'll get onto it. I don't know what they do now, because I think they might have hoped James Morrison wins the first game and it's not Eric Ramsey and he just sees them over the line. But I think they're going to have... I think we're looking at a 4th manager.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you class Morrison as a temporary as a 3rd.
I agree. Thank you for reminding me. We are going to do a full deep dive into West Brom, what is going on there later in the week. So stay tuned for that one. Just flipping it back to Oxford, though. Next 3 fixtures, massive for them. Preston away Friday night. I think that's winnable. Oxford at home. Blackburn at home. Charlton at home.
Them 2 home games are huge.
Massive. They are absolutely massive.
And you can't see West Brom and Leicester winning many either. Do you know what I mean? I know it's a lot easier said than done, just win a couple games down at bottom, because draws are really no good to any of them 3 at minute. But I could see Oxford picking up more than Leicester and West Brom from now till end.
The thing is with Leicester is we thought they'd improved with the draw at Middlesbrough, and then they put in a really poor performance at home to Norwich, losing 2-0.
Not convinced on row at me at Leicester.
You're not? No.
What do you think on that?
I like the idea of it.
Yeah.
Look, if you want, I remember you saying it at Christmas about Oxford, sack your manager and go and get Gary Rowett, that's the thing you do. I wonder whether it's like at Birmingham, whether it's a Rowett issue or just a chaos issue where whoever you put in there. But if you want a manager who's going to sort out the defensive shape and fix a team that's gone 29 games without a clean sheet, it's him. But, I mean, God, those home games for Leicester as well. If I were, Leicester, I'd volunteer to play every game away at the moment, because there's protests before the game, and the players just look like shell shocked at the end when they're going round and trying to applaud the.
There's nothing there
the fans
at the moment at that club, is there? It's been such a bad season for them, and I'm not sure, as I said, like start of January, if they get points deduction and they find themselves in the mix, I don't know if they've got the stomach to get out of it. Norwich, we've got to give credit to them, by the way, with a few injuries, and they're obviously a very good team now. So I don't know.
Easy win for them, wasn't it? Yeah.
As easy as they come. I'm not sure how serious the injury is to the striker whose name I've just forgotten.
Motoro.
Yes, but hopefully he gets back and starts scoring goals again.
By the way, Magoma for Norwich, that looks a good pickup.
Is he £1 million or something? £1 million?
I don't know.
Where's he been recently? He was at Bolton a couple of years ago in League One. I think he must have been
He went
abroad
over
somewhere.
to Brentford, didn't he?
Yeah, fans love him.
Yeah.
The fans absolutely love him. So
Yeah, he looked great.
Obviously, too much work to do for Norwich to get into the playoffs this season, but I think next season we can start talking about them as a serious promotion.
11 wins in 15.
You've got to start looking at that a bit. And if you are a Norwich fan, just delude yourself a bit.
Yeah.
Like them and Sheffield United, I think Swansea to an extent, some sides that look like they're building something for next year.
Yeah.
By the way, our bet, Callum. Remember our bet, 20 quid?
I can't.
When Sheffield United and Norwich were in the bottom two at Christmas, we had a little bet and it's still going close. I said Sheffield United would finish above Norwich and you said Norwich would finish above Sheffield United.
I still think I might do you that.
I think you might do it. What the
it's only 3 points difference.
Oh.
Simon, you make a really good point, though. What is massively underrated in Championship summers is not changing your manager and just nothing happening. And speak about Coventry a lot, haven't we? Whilst 3 teams then go up, 3 teams come down with massive churn. If you're one of those teams and say you are up and around a playoff position or in playoff form and you keep your manager, you might have to sell one player, but there's not too much else going on and you ride that form through. And God, we saw it for see if I can invoke my one mention of Ipswich 23-24 this season. You can get the advantage in September, October if you've come out of the traps, and there's parachute teams faffing about, changing their managers 3 times, selling all their best players, having to sign a new squad. And yeah, if you are a Swansea, a Norwich, a Sheffield United, you're going to be looking at that. Right, can we get out in front of Wolves?
Absolutely. Coventry on top. Coventry on top because they've won. Coventry on top because they've won 4 games in a row. They're top because of the work they did back in October, November. And
they've had that form for 18 months.
And if you look, it'll be very interesting. Actually, maybe we'll do this in a few weeks to compare Coventry's form from January to April when they got into the playoffs and what Norwich are doing this season, and see if they can translate that into next season. Exciting times for the Canaries. Quick word on Watford's win on Friday night at Bristol City. 2 wins from the last 3 for Ed still. Seems to be kind of getting them going and getting some results. Probably too much work for the playoffs. How many points are they off now?
6.
Yeah,
but they'll change manager by time the season's done anyway. What's the point? What is the point?
He'll keep his job if they get close to the playoffs, surely.
Doubt it. With them, no chance.
Is that all you've got?
Yeah, and it's like 2 mid-table sides, that, innit?
Yeah.
Really, I don't think either of them are going to run it close enough. Like you said about the points gap earlier between Wrexham and Southampton, I think Birmingham and Sheffield United are better than both of them. I think Derby are probably better than them. And they're all in clan that's just not Southampton as well. There's a lot of traffic in there.
Bristol City lost their best player in January. And you look at that
I don't think
and you just think...
I worry for Struber. Not for him keeping his job. I worry for Bristol City fans even if Struber will still be there.
They've been so unlucky with the centre-backs, haven't they? Because Atkinson's now out for...
He's been really good from an
10 weeks or something. That was a complete coin flip game, wasn't it? The only thing I'll say about Edward Still and Watford is that we were really having fun with them as a in-possession team with Loser and Chakataza and Iran Kunda. And now they look like they want to do lots of pressing and lots of running. And I was just... I'm as a purist, give Loser the ball and just let him ping it about and play possession football. But it looks like they're going a slightly different way now with Still.
Yeah, we'll see how the results pan out for them.
Just quickly, talking about stability though as well, how are you supposed to build anything when we're talking about teams like Sheffield United, Norwich, Swansea that'll build on it into next season? Watford are swapping from one extreme style of play to another one and then back again and back again. How are you supposed to build anything like that?
Yeah, I wouldn't be confident that they can necessarily build on this season depending on where they finish. I mean, you'd expect Loser to go.
Yeah, Loser will go, surely.
Yeah, maybe a couple of their other big names as well will have interest. Interesting to see what happens at that club as always. Right, guys, want us to talk about the top scorer in the Championship because, Ben, I'm pretty sure we sat here last year and went, Joel Perreault last season, 19 goals, won the Championship Golden Boot. This season, it'll be 25, 30
Josh
goals.
Sargent.
Someone will get 25 goals. We are now 11-ish games from the end of the season, and Zampa Popnik leads the way with 15. Hadjirat on 14, McBurney 13. We think, again, Championship Golden Boot winner might be around the 20-goal mark. What's happened to the Championship bagsman? What's gone on?
There's a very long, very technical answer that I'll try and say very, very quickly. You need to blame Juan Sebastian Veron, Jose Mourinho, and the evolution from 2 up top in English football to 4-2-3-1 now. And we spoke about the Ipswich squad. Yeah, no one's going to get 20 goals, but Mehmeti will get double figures, Philogene will get double figures, Clark. So it all gets shared around. There was a little clue when Mate Vidra, he played 10 for Derby. I can't remember the year. He got 20 goals from that position and everything kind of changed. And yeah, I loved the years of Kevin Phillips and Pierre Van Hooijdonk and, I don't know, Glenn Murray. I mean, look, we had Timu Pukki and Emi Buendia, and I don't think Pukki, did he ever get 30? Ivan Toney got 30, and obviously Mitrovic was a complete freak show, but that was nothing to do with styles. He was just way too good for the level in a team that was way too good for the level.
Was it also back-to-back years we had Chuba Akpom winning the Golden Boot and Sami Szmodics as well, which was both kind of from the second striker, number 10 position. It's an interesting point to be made there. I think Hadji Wright is probably in the best position to win it this year, given he's playing for the best team and now found a bit of form. But
I think Zapotnik will get 20, provided he's not benched for
That's what I mean. If
McBurney, if he can keep fit, you'd expect him to probably get close.
Yeah, 7 goals in, 12 games? It's some going for a number 9. Like, it does feel like we're not going to get... Like 20, 21 goals might win it this season, right?
But if you view the 4-2-3-1 as you're essentially playing 3 or almost 4 forward players, as opposed to it always used to be 2, and often one of them was there to punch holes, the Quinn and Phillips, type thing. So it kind of stands to reason. I liked it how, if you look back in like the early 90s, 25-30 is just the normal number, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But the game's changed.
So it's a winger's game, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a winger's game, but there's also, I don't know, we have seen in past, even players, even though they're not maybe number 9s, get 30 goals. And it is just being shared around, I guess.
Do you think it's a quality issue, though? When you're looking through some names, like Vipotnik, he's good. And I guess you look at Hadji Wright, some of these other
scored
ones.
way more than 14
But these aren't the
there.
names that has previously been in here, because Premier League will come and swoop them all up if they're any good.
Yeah.
I do think it's a
look
lack
where the
of
money's
quality.
spent on like a Philogene or a Fatawa, you think playing the Champions League. So they spend on the wingers, don't they, now? And if you think about it, you call them the 10 positions, you're going to have 6 of them in your squad. You're going to have 2 strikers and probably a youngster. So it's just a numbers game, isn't it?
So do we think next season, looking forward and trying to predict it, where do we think...
Adam Armstrong scored 30 for Wolves.
What a shout that is. That Harry Kane back to Tottenham, maybe? I don't know if this is going to be a trend we see continue in terms of 2025 being enough for it. I don't know if we're going to get back to the days of 30 plus goals, Carl.
Same, I'm just trying to think if there's any like League One boys up there. Like Tolaj is a proper striker, and for Plymouth he's good. But a lot of your better goal scorers in recent couple months have been like McGoldrick, who's knocking on, Jack Marriott at Reading.
Get him back in Championship,
It's your older strikers that are a bit more old school that probably played in that time that have got it in them still.
The only thing that could do it is if this, because the trend always trickles down from the Premier League, if this physicality trend of long throws, corners and big players, and we go back to 4-4-2 in the Premier League, which is entirely possible, then you'll start getting 4-4-2 in the Championship and you'll get 30 goals. Until such time, no, blame Mourinho and Duff and Robin. And Frank Lampard was in that team.
Blame Frank Lampard. It's all his fault. Right, we're going to do a few quick match previews. We've got Ipswich versus Hull on Tuesday night to kick us off. Ben, I'll let you take the lead on this one.
Ipswich 55 shots, Hull 1, Ipswich 0, Hull 1.
You could, if Hull go to Ipswich and win, that is just gargantuan.
You wouldn't write it off though, would you?
No.
I do think Ipswich will win.
Whoever scores the first goal in that game is winning that game.
Yeah.
So that's,
and the first goal is not happening in the first half either.
How many teams have gone to Ipswich and kept a clean sheet? I remember Charlton.
Wrexham 0-0.
Not many though.
How many games have you lost at Bournemouth Road? Just to Charlton?
Just to Charlton, yeah.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Massive. That home form is ridiculous. Coventry have lost 1 game at home. Ipswich have lost 1 game at home. I think Ipswich will have too many chances to score a few goals.
And they're more clinical. I know we're looking at Portsmouth, but they've had a problem all season of not being clinical at top end of pitch. Ipswich have scored second most in division.
Look at Mehmeti's finish on Saturday.
And they've got that much depth and that much threat from loads of different positions.
They've just got to be cautious, Ipswich, on Tuesday, and just refine their normal, very attacking game, because if you leave McBurney, Gelhardt, Joseph, whoever, 1v1 on a counter, they'll score.
Be a good game,
and then they'll win.
I
think it'll be cat and mouse for the first half hour. That
very interesting game between 2 playoff teams. I'm going to go for Ipswich 3, Hull 1. Cal, how about you?
I got 2-0.
Are you going for the whole win?
No, I'll go 1-0 Ipswich, and we'll address the public apologies to the Hull fans. We're all wrong, which we have been all season.
We have been absolutely. Next up, Preston Oxford Friday night. Ben, Preston dropping away, no wins in 4, as we've already said. Oxford, can they back up this win against West Brom and take themselves nearly out of the relegation zone?
Well, I'm going to cover this on my channel, and I don't want to say what I'm about to say, but does that smell of a bit of a 0-0?
Yeah. Nah, I'm backing Oxford. I'm going for a 1-0 Oxford.
Is that a hope thing rather than you actually think it'll happen?
Well, because I want Leicester to go down, maybe, yeah.
No.
I think Oxford are competitive. I think if you look at the away games at Coventry, 0-0, if you look at the away game at Middlesbrough, again, decent. I think they can do a very similar job here and probably nick a goal.
Inside as well, aren't they? It's going to be a very similar game.
Atrocious pitch.
Yeah, it's going to be rotten.
Yeah.
Not a good one.
We're meant to be previewing this one.
I know, I'm going to be watching it, yeah.
Score predictions. 1-0 Oxford.
1-1.
0-0.
Tune into Ben's channel, definitely, for that 0-0 draw will be that. And
the chat will be great, Cal, honestly.
And the last game we're going to cover, Sheffield United versus West Brom on Saturday. Oh dear, Cal.
Big oh dear. I mean, I fear for West Brom here. Sheffield United, I know that they have left it too late, really. They've got Cooper injured as well.
I think that might be a good thing, given his recent form.
I thought he was coming back a little bit.
He had a howler against Coventry.
He did start the season well, but I think he were coming back around a little bit more. But Sheffield United home are very good. They went through a spell where they were scoring at least like 3 goals every game. And that crap West Brom they look hopeless at top end of the pitch. I think they might get tongued.
If Sheffield United lost their last 2 home games though to Middlesbrough and Coventry, is that?
Yeah, it's the top 2.
Exactly, it is the top 2.
Miles off that level.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. I do think West Brom will get.
You mentioned that Coventry won, didn't you?
every week we win. Yeah, it's easy. Anything other than a Sheffield United win here, Ben?
I mean, it's the Championship, so it's either 4-0 to Blades or West Brom win 1-0 with some ridiculous win out of nowhere. But no, you can't make a logical argument that a team completely devoid of confidence and also you talk about West Brom being bad, their away record is beyond bad as well, isn't it? So I think the best they can hope for is a clean sheet and a point, the Baggies. If you're applying a logic to it, but you never know.
If Oxford win on Friday night, West Brom are in the bottom 3 and Oxford are out of it on goal difference, which will make this game just change the face of it. West Brom's
goal difference is worse than Oxford's.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
West Brom lost 5 at home to Norwich.
Yeah. Like if West Brom lose it, very
and Oxford,
feasibly.
Sorry to interrupt. Had Gary Rowett, which whatever you say will keep your goal difference down.
Yeah, true.
And that could be a massive deciding factor. If Oxford win, West Brom are in the bottom 3, and they're probably not going to beat Sheffield United at the weekend.
Didn't Luton go on goal difference last year?
Yeah, I think they did.
They got tonked off West Brom last day, didn't they?
Yeah.
Did we do our score predictions for that one? I'm going to go 3-0 Sheffield United.
I agree.
Well, I'll just do it for the sake of Championship.
1-0 Baggers.
1-0 West Brom because of ridiculousness, but you two are clearly going to be more right than I am.
That will be one of the shock results of the Championship.
It will, won't it?
Season that happens. Ben, thank you very much for joining me. Callum, thank you for joining me. We'll be back later in the week, where, as I say, we're going to do a deep dive into West Brom and do a big match preview of Blackburn Rovers weekend game as well. Thank you for watching. Please do like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.